Very interesting indeed. Okay. I want to take you to another one. The COVID-19 playbook. Watch and see how all this played out. It's a documentary. Watch this.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Did you ever wonder how the world was forced into such despicable depths of inhuman degradation and utter subjugation in 2020?
Tell me what law I have broken. You cannot tell me any law that I've broken. Speak to me.
Many were assaulted.
Hey, look what they're doing. Look at this one right now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oi! Oi! It's on! Oi!
Several were arrested and fined.
What a disgrace. You must have mothers. What an outrage.
She was an old lady robbed of her dignity for having the courage to protest.
With fear inflicted on the world through the use of a concocted pandemic, COVID-19.
They had it all planned out long ago.
And because they understood that it would take more than just a plan to subdue the world, they deployed something more sinister, more hideous, and more evil in the execution of this inimical agenda.
Those who are masterminding these things are using spiritual power, not just government authority. No, no, no. These are people who are soaked and deep in the occult.
In the COVID-19 playbook, many elements came into play. There were meetings, invocations, and sacrifices offered. However, also within this playbook are previous attempts by the cultists of our world to dominate the world. For thousands of years, secret societies dominated by the occult have hijacked the control buttons of the affairs of nations in multiple sectors and facets. And this has gone unnoticed for so long. In essence, their primary aim has been the tireless quest to unleash a global government on the world, one which would be controlled by a world leader under the headship of Lucifer.
These are the three areas that these various cults have focused on for so many years. Many of them were cults that focused on the economy. They controlled the financial system for many years.
Now, when we see these puppet tyrants and world leaders on the world stage, as they call it, going to meetings at Davos for the World Economic Forum or the G7 summit, wherever they may be having it, all of them wearing their suits and talking about economics and climate change, etc. It's all politics and business. But do you think there is any witchcraft involved with these events? Well, here we see the Lucis Trust, formerly known as Lucifer Publishing, who are part of the United Nations, who look after and control the meditation room in the UN building. They changed their name to Lucis Trust from Lucifer Publishing because they were getting a lot of flack from people accusing them of being Satanists, okay? This is clearly witchcraft and spells being cast for these events at the World Economic Forum and the G7 summits. Let's look at the wording they use. Here it says, this service initiative involves group invocation. So what exactly is invocation? Okay, the definition for invocation. It's calling upon an authority. But in the spiritual realm, which this certainly is, it means a formula for conjuring, incantation. So basically, you've got Luciferians of the Lucis Trust, who are part of the United Nations, openly stating on their website they are summoning and conjuring spirits.
Judiciary were Masons, 18 senators, 76 of the House of Representatives, and at least 2 of these senators were 33rd degree Masons. It is clear that Masonic influence extends to the highest levels of American government. Masonic ideology runs within the veins of our society and dictates our everyday lives, and we don't even know it.
Now, you may join a group like this for some other reasons. Maybe because your friends are there, you say it's business, but I ask you a question. When you have to join a society where you have to make certain oaths, swear certain kinds of allegiances, and have to take certain curses upon yourself in the event that you do something different from what they want you to do.
Bilderberg Group first met in 1954 at the Bilderberg Hotel in Oosterbeek, Holland.
Ever since the Bilderberg Group first met, the exact purpose of the talks has never been fully explained. The delegates meet in secret for 3 days of discussions, but nothing they talk about is ever revealed afterwards.
Why is it that for years it was even denied the Bilderberg Group even existed? They are a global elite which work to push human society into the direction of a global tyranny that would have made George Orwell wince.
Several of the proponents of the one world government and one world economy actually belong to several groups. They belong to several cults. How do you know when they become a cult? But by their activities. You discover their activities have gone beyond the professional level. They make decisions that affect human lives. And a lot of times, they don't care what happens. Then you know it's turning into a cult. You know why? Because they take actions that don't care how many people die, how many lives are wasted. They don't care.
There are people that find it difficult to believe that the oil shock of 1973 could have been masterminded by the Bilderberg Group, as many claim. For starters, the United States Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger, had not attended that year. But at the press conference of the following Bilderberg meeting in 1974, the declarations of Prince Bernhard could raise some questions.
L'année dernière, le thème, c'était la possible crise d'énergie. Sans savoir, nous étions des petits prophètes et la crise d'énergie est venue beaucoup plus vite que tout le monde des participants ont pensé.
The Bilderberg Group. What are we talking about here?
The center of this conspiracy is this group of people called the Bilderberg, is more powerful than any nation on earth, destined to control the necessities of the planet. It's to control the air, control the sun, control the people. You're talking about the control of absolutely everything on the planet. These are the people who actually control the purse strings. When you control the purse strings, you control the world.
Estelin matched up dates with Bilderberg meetings. He said the group agreed on the date for the invasion of Iraq.
set oil prices, caused the world economic crash. Heck, he claims that they even gave Barack Obama their blessing to run for president. And Obama and Hillary Clinton did attend the Bilderberg meeting in Virginia in 2008.
So they belong in these different groups. And one of the things that these groups stand for is the one world government. The trouble is, many years ago, they did those things silently, they did them secretly. These groups are not secret groups anymore.
Sadly, while these groups in their delusory expansive influence have been responsible for several attempts at world domination, their greatest attempt yet was the COVID-19 pandemic.
These receive instructions from evil spirits. They're told what to do, and they come out and control nations. Imagine, look at this. Imagine that people like this are in political office. What do you expect? And many of them are, incidentally. That's why it was so easy for them to coordinate and accept these things, because a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them belong in these cults. And some of them listening to me understand exactly what I'm talking about. These leaders, and when I say leaders now, I'm talking about not just the leaders of the nations, but the pseudo leaders behind the scene. These are the members of the deep state. These are the hands in the gloves. Who actually are controlling many governments and government leaders. They're controlling them because they give them the impression they know something, because either they have money or they have influence or they have some position. But the reality is they are controlling them through spiritual powers.
Little wonder the world was held in such severe bondage by these spiritualists in the year 2020. But while many of the perpetrators have long been exposed, events in recent times have blown the cover on one more kingpin in the workings of the creation of this virus in the COVID playbook, further confirming the words of the man of God, Pastor Chris, that the virus was man-made.
Viruses don't exist in nature. You see the problem? They don't exist in nature. Most people have never known it. They are not living things. Anything that doesn't exist in nature is man-made. Period. That's the fact. That's the truth. It came out of a lab. There were those who said, why, Pastor Chris? How can Pastor Chris say that? I said, tell me where the viruses come from. But later on you found out that's exactly what happened. This was planned in the lab. Of course, with their collaborators.
In 2017, Bill Gates discussed plans for pandemic simulations with Jeffrey Epstein. Email describes the idea of reference proposed projects such as simulated outbreak scenarios, expanded health data infrastructure, and neurotechnology research potentially used for national security. And then it goes into all of it here about the business of it and lockdowns and controls and changing society and world internet IDs and a whole new system, getting rid of the old system through this. The Epstein files eliminate a 20-year architecture behind pandemics as the business model of Bill Gates at the center of the network, going and buying off the big regulators, international, national, doing illegal testing on people. Overhead shot, please. I want you to read this article. I mean, this is all what we're dealing with here. So goes on and on.
It's disgusting. There are lots of names, lots of co-conspirators, and they're trafficking girls all across the world. I mean, it's exactly as people thought it was. It's that, and more, unfortunately.
Meet Jeffrey Epstein, serial sex offender and convicted pedophile.
What are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
What's tier 1's the highest and worst?
No,
I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest.
Connected to some of the world's billionaires and some of the most influential high-profile individuals in society, The recent Epstein files released reveal his connection to the Rothschilds, a family known for their religion of Satanism, which brings us to the last piece in the elite's puzzle to install a one-world order religion.
Others focused on religion and have controlled the religious world. These are spiritualists to the core. So don't look at them in their suits and their sweet talk. No. They're into devil worship. They're into this Satanism. These are idolaters. These are people who are soaked and deep in the occult. They're into blood covenants. They're into blood sacrifices. That's what they do. They're into Satanism.
Among the cultists of this world, one of their most predominant religions is Satanism or Luciferianism, a religion that venerates Lucifer. Curiously, one of their compulsory cultures of worship in Luciferianism are blood sacrifices, and through such evil acts, they held the world in bondage in 2020.
You know they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood.
Jeffrey Epstein and his Hollywood elite circle have been exposed as cannibals. Not rumours, not whispers. Hard evidence from the files. Babies in fridges. Jerky as code. Rituals that will make your blood run cold. An entire grotesque subculture of trafficking, consumption, and depravity on an industrial scale that has been blown wide open.
Another element of the Rothschilds, they are known for their involvement in a religion called Luciferianism or Satanism. On this picture we can see Baron Jacob Rothschild posing in front of a famous painting called Satan.